Okay, today we're covering Chapter 26, Section 2, A New Kind of War. We're looking at the devastation of military technologies and a few different battles of World War I. That being said, we'll start with our key terms and vocabulary, as always. First key term, you'll read the definition, then provide the term. Ms. Vinton.
Series of ditches, tunnels, barricaded machine guns and stretched from the Swiss Alps to the English Channel, Western Front.
That's the Western Front. Very good. If you ever get a chance to read it, there's a book called All Quiet on the Western Front. It's an excellent novel if you'd like to have some more insight on how this war was actually structured and the intensity of it. Next term, Ms. Valandra.
The area between the two fronts full of barbed wires and obstacles, no man's land.
No man's land. Excellent job. Okay, our next term, Ms. Smith.
Series of ditches, tunnels, and barricaded machine guns. Trench warfare.
Trench warfare. So all that whole section, which you can see here, the soldiers engaged in the trench. You can also see, the barricades of no man's land, an intense time period. Okay? And then the final term, Ms. Vin.
German U-boats would attack Allied supply ships as they entered the harbors without any form of warning. Unrestricted submarine warfare.
Unrestricted submarine warfare. Very good. Meaning they would attack anyone who entered those hostile waters, whether they're a passenger liner or a military transport or anything, just shipping anything through. If you entered those waters, you were liable to be attacked. Excellent job. Okay, now this next section, all you guys have to do is complete the idea. So number one, the early enthusiasm for World War I soon faded because of why? Mr. Shovels?
Because World War I was way more dangerous and deadlier than the other ones.
Absolutely. Now, what is the major reason that that's going to be happening?
Gases and machine guns.
Gases, machine guns, basically just technology. Absolutely. Far more deadly than any war we've experienced in history because of the things that we started class with. Absolutely. Number two, German generals soon opened a front in the east because of why? Ms. Robinson?
Russia mobilized more quickly than expected and won small battles.
Very good. Mobilized faster and begins to win some minor battles. So originally that Schlieffen plan to avoid that two-front war is all but dissolved. Okay? The Russians are mobilizing much faster. They're starting to have success. Now they're a headache for the Germans. We have to address that. Number three, to try to break a stalemate caused by trench warfare, German forces, Mr. Coffin?
Tried to overwhelm French at Verdun and basically take them out from their trenches.
Absolutely. Massive offensive at the Battle of Verdun. Offensive meaning just like in sports, obviously to defend. You want to protect yourself. You want to protect your score, your situation in the game. Offensive, though, we're trying to score as much as we can. We're going to try to win this battle as brutally and as quickly as we can to send a message as well as to experience success. Number four, the destructiveness of the war was due to what? Mr. Shovels.
Like, just the, like all the new technology and stuff that was, like the weapons and stuff.
Absolutely. Modern weapons and technology. Okay? Previous wars, we haven't experienced this. We had smaller versions such as other technology available at the time of machine guns and artillery, typically cannons, but now we have full weaponry that is just able to be mechanized and is far more deadly. It can shoot farther. It can launch more intense weaponry. It's just horrific. Okay? We weren't prepared for that. Next slide, number five. Russia was poorly equipped to fight the war because of why? Mr. Hartman.
They were the least industrialized of the great powers.
Absolutely. They have the least going on for them. Least industrialized, which means they have less what?
Less
Technologies.
Less tech, less weapons. Absolutely. Okay? That's a struggle. Now, the only thing that Russia really has going for them is what? You guys know? They have fewer weapons, fewer technology, but they can draw from this.
More people.
More people, absolutely. Write that down. Excellent job. Number six, the Allies turned to their colonies for what? What do they engage their colonies for? What are they looking for? Mr. Hartman?
Dominions of troops, laborers, and supplies.
Very good, and we have to have all that. So soldiers, workers, and stuff. Stuff meaning we need that stuff to make our stuff. So not only supplies, but just natural resources as a whole. Vital to a war effort. Excellent job. Number 7. Some colonists volunteered expecting what? Miss McCoy?
Citizenship and independence.
Citizenship and independence. So meaning becoming part of that nation, freedom from that nation, or at least some rights here. Okay? Now, do you guys think that's going to happen?
No.
Very, very limited amounts. Okay? They'll be used, they'll be exploited, if you will, because they won't receive any benefit per se, other than helping the mother country. And most of them, exactly, if you go on to fight for that country, thinking that when you return back home, hopefully alive, if you return, at least your family will earn citizenship, and none of that's going to happen, and you may have died in the process. It's gruesome. Number 8, the Ottoman Empire aided the Central Powers by what? Mr. Shovels.
By cutting off Allied supply lines to Russia by Dardanelles.
At the Dardanelles. Very good. And where is that located? What body of water are we looking at?
Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea.
Very good. Excellent job. Which, as we know with our study of history, with specifically Russian history, that was the greatest objective of Peter the Great, Catherine the Great, was that warm water port. And they're trying to claim that right now. Okay? We move forward to our objectives. Actually, we have some battles I want to look at here. Now, you guys don't have to write these down, but I just want to show you some statistics of this war. Okay? The Battle of Verdun, 500,000 dead. To give you some inference onto this, the city of Ann Arbor, its entire population is 120,000. 500,000. Okay? So you take 5 Ann Arbors, roughly, if you want to consider that. Somme River, 60,000 in the first day. That's 6 cities of Adrian. Half of Ann Arbor. Soldiers died in one day.
Wow.
Over 1 million over 5 months. So you can see how gruesome and brutal this war really is. Okay? Excellent. Let's continue. Objectives. Explain why a stalemate developed on the Western Front. Ms. Sackett.
The French were stronger because the English were helping them. It was hard for Germany because they weren't ready, and the Russians mobilized quicker.
Very good. 3 major reasons for this. The French are much stronger, and again, if you want to go just underline, that's totally fine. French are much stronger than anticipated. We underestimated them. Because they're English-backed. Now, even if you analyze that map that we started with yesterday, or that we had in the power notes yesterday, the English don't have a lot of artillery, a great army, but they have a lot of natural resources. They have the most colonies, globally speaking. Okay? As well as the Russians mobilize faster. Now, what does that mean to mobilize? Mr. Harmon?
Get their army set up and ready to fight.
Ready to fight. If you can mobilize faster, you'll be way more effective. For example, you've ever watched the movie Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at how long it took for those planes to get ready to attack the Japanese as they're attacking them. Okay? Everyone's resting. It was, kind of a relaxation day. But on the secondary airfields, they were able to stage an attack. Identify the forces that made World War I different from earlier wars. Ms. Donahue.
The rapid-fire machine gun made it hard to get out of trenches. Submarines and planes were long-range attacks, and poison gas neutralized entire armies.
Absolutely. Okay? A couple major reasons here. Trench warfare, as we've seen in the image, and as I've described that graphic and horrific nature of that. Poison gases, horrible. We've never seen this before. We've had very small amounts of the use of airborne technology, but not to this extent. Okay? Submarines. Obviously, between the Monitor and the Merrimack in the Civil War, we have somewhat seen this before, but not to this level. Okay, as well as mechanized weapons. Now, mechanized means what?
Improved? Or like
Improved is a way to describe it. What else?
Automated.
More automated or automatic. For example, it would be like deer hunters in the room using a muzzle loader versus a semi-automatic shotgun. Okay? A muzzle loader takes more skill and it's longer to reload compared to a semi-automatic shotgun that you can load and shoot faster. Same theory here, though. Okay, final objective I will provide in a moment.
Okay.
Go ahead, describe how the war became a global conflict. Mr. Welch.
Ottoman Turks during the Central Power blockade in front. Russia, Britain, India, Australia, and New Zealand troops attempted to reopen the port, and Europe teamed up to beat Germany.
Very good. Okay, and you can also add that portion about the Ottomans as well, or not the Ottomans, the Arab nationalistic movement as well. Okay, so the Ottoman Empire joins the Central Powers to try to close off this body of water from the Black Sea to the Mediterranean Sea, the Dardanelles, as well as the Japanese out in the east are going to join to try to attack German colonies. Now, this is going to be smart on their part, because what are the Japanese going to get out of this?
Territory.
They're going to get the German territory. Now, is that going to be huge for World War II?
Yes.
Absolutely. So you could say, here's the rise of Japan. Make sure you have that down.
Sounds like a movie.
Rise of Japan. The Empire of the Rising Sun, which is why their flag appears that way. Okay? Any questions about anything we covered today? Your homework for tonight. The PR that we have, as always. Number 1, define the terms only on page 829. 3 through 6, just as it appears, and then the next worksheet. Now, some information. I will be on an AP trip to the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Farmington Hills. So, this will all be graded by Mrs. Spence and the peer tutors. Please be respectful, be patient with them. After they are done grading all that stuff, you have no bookwork. You'll watch a documentary on World War I, the technology involved. Any questions? Okay, you can go ahead and get started for work. You can talk about it.
What was the last one? George, can you go back to the last one? The Ottoman Empire joined the Central Powers in 1914 and closed Dardanelles and Japan.